Hey, what's up, YouTube boxing family? It is K-Rod here, back at it with another good video for y'all today. I wanted to make this video to, try to basically spread some light on the Gervonta Tank Davis situation, on why he is not a legitimate 3-division world champion. And honestly, it's probably gonna piss off some people, in which I really do not care, because I believe it is of the truth, and I don't think that it's wrong for me to say this. But I think honestly, Gervonta Tank Davis is not a legitimate 3-division world champion. If anything, we probably have to make the case to say that Gervonta's career is only solidified at 130, but anything above that, like 135, 140, I don't I don't see Gervonta being a champion in those in those divisions. So for those of you that don't know who Gervonta Tank Davis is, he is a southpaw fighter out of Baltimore, Maryland, with a 67-inch .5 or 67.5-inch arm reach. He's 5'5.5". He is the current regular WBA regular belt champion, in which that would be called a secondary status champion, or another word to just say that you're basically just a interim champion, in which you don't really have that much of a status. But that's basically where Gervonta's career is at the moment. Gervonta is currently 27-0 with 25 of those wins by way of knockout. He has a 92.59% knockout ratio, and he has over 114 rounds boxed in 27 fights. So I mean, Gervonta, I'm not gonna sit here and be disrespectful, because I got a lot of respect for Tank, but the problem with him is just that he hasn't done anything at 135 pounds nor 140 pounds to even make it, how should I say, to make it convincing enough to say that he's done some big things at 135 and 40 pounds, because you can make the argument to say, okay, yeah, he beat some decent names like a Leo Santa Cruz and Mario Barrios, but Leo Santa Cruz at this time had the WBA regular lightweight title. He never had the WBA super belt of that title, because remember, Lomachenko, he was technically the WBC champion, and then he was the WBA champion, so he technically had the super status, when he was unified. But ever since then, that's when Teofimo and Loma, got it going. And unfortunately, he wasn't really able to solidify his 3-belt, conquer of getting those belts, because Teofimo beat him. So, I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter, because Gervonta Tank Davis is technically the money man of that division, but we can't just sit here and say Gervonta is a 3-division world champion, because that's some bullshit. And I think Devin Haney, made a really good statement on the $1 Million podcast with Gilly the Kid and all those other quote-unquote rappers and people that know certain boxing people in the stable. So, I mean, granted, I'm gonna give Tank credit for beating some decent names, but I'm not gonna sit here and say Gervonta is a 3-division world champion. And I think it's fair for us to even say that as a boxing community. Well, I wouldn't say for all of us, but for those that are the diehards like myself, and those who are students of the game like myself, that study the game in and out every single day, I cannot say Gervonta is a 3-division world champion. He did not earn his spot at 135. You basically got a Reggie belt, or a secondary belt, That doesn't make any damn sense because these semi-titles make no goddamn sense on the sport of boxing. You didn't earn your spot to even get up there, so you should be basically treated like anybody else in the like going through the back of the line to get your shot, and you could actually claim your status of becoming a multiple division world champion. Because at least, you know, the thing with Gervonta compared to Floyd Mayweather is that Floyd Mayweather, he fought for actual titles. He didn't fight for secondary belts. He actually wanted all the smoke with everybody. That's why Floyd Mayweather is probably the most decorated fighter that has fought 23 consecutive world champions. Well, actually, no. He's beat 23 world champions, and he's fought 16 world champions consecutively straight in the history of boxing. But Gervonta Tank Davis hasn't ever done anything like that, because you could just take a look at his resume. He's not doing that. He's fighting guys that we never asked him to do or to fight, and it's like, to me, it's kind of pissing me off, because it's like, honestly, your only legitimacy is at 130, but anything above that, we are now seeing the lack of competition not being solidified. And Gervonta is like what, 27 years old, about to be 28 soon, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's gonna turn 28 in like what, December. I think honestly, like, it's just really sad, you know, like I don't understand like why Gervonta is throwing his career away, but it's like, you need to do something, bro, because like yeah, like you're gonna be like what, 28 by like November. So I don't understand like why he's not making these moves, but he better make these moves now, because I don't know if he's 27 or 28 currently, because it says that he's born in 1994, but they still list him as 27 years old. So Tank should be quote unquote 29 by November, but you know, I don't understand that. Like, he should be probably re-updated with his age, because if he's 28 heading into 29, that's not good, because you're almost nearing 30 years old, and in boxing, usually your prime usually ends by 33 or at least 34, 35. So I don't know, man. I think Gervonta Tank Davis really needs to rethink his career. And I mean, if he wants to claim his status of being 3-division world champion, you should be fighting the champions, man. You shouldn't be fighting no, wannabe champions. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's like, to me, like, you've been a pro for almost damn near 10 years. And he's been around the game for such a long time. Gervonta should be gunning for all the fighters that he wants. There shouldn't be any restrictions, unless Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerby are blocking these big-ass fights where Gervonta is not having the final say, and therefore the business is being fucked up by them. Because it shouldn't be that hard for Gervonta to say, hey, give me Devin Haney. Just give me Devin Haney. Give me Teofimo Lopez. Give me Lomachenko. And if either of them can make the fight with me, I want those fights next. But at this point of his career, I want to see Gervonta Tank Davis fight Devin Haney. If he does not fight Devin, for some weird-ass reason to say that, oh, well, that the fight itself could have been made, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I don't want to hear that. If you're not going to fight Devin Haney, then do not call yourself a 3-division world champion. Because you are not. You are a 1-division world champion. To keep it clear, there is no such thing as having semi-belts to consider yourself as a champion in boxing. Daniel Dubois is not a champion. All these wannabe belts just to make a fighter feel good, to say, oh yeah, man, I fucking won the belt and all that. Nigga, like, no, you did not win shit. You didn't win anything. You didn't do anything to get there. You just won a no-name belt off of somebody that doesn't even deserve to have it in the first place. Honestly, without sanctioned bodies in boxing, the rankings should be set in a universal level where you are forced to face your contemporaries. And if you don't want to face him, fine. You're not going to get up to a world title. But the world title stage should not be determined by a sanctioned body. The world title stage should always be determined by a marketized structure of having a universalized ranking system that is created by a fight network. So therefore, if you want to, let's just say go through the gauntlet of top ranked competition, and let's just say Top Rank, they have their own little fight league. You have to face everybody under that banner if you want to face all the best competition. Or if it was set up like, I don't know, like a league of its own, like a universal NBA, where like you have to fight everybody, and if you want to keep your spot, you have to fight the best competition, and you get paid more if you win. But the rankings should be determined by, how should I say, a competitive, marketized system where you have all the best competition face each other early in their career, and then whoever comes out on top, they come out winning. I think that's a fair system. I think that, I don't know how you kind of see it in the UFC. You see those guys come in to their careers, very young, and then when they get tested early, they end up actually turning into really, really good fighters. Well, not all of them, but a good number of them do, because it's like the UFC has a good matchmaking system where everyone's fighting each other to keep their spot. But some people will say, oh no, people are ducking this guy. Like, no, they don't do that shit, because if they do, they're going to lose their position. So, I mean, to me, like, I think boxing needs to have that. I think, Gervonta Tank Davis's career would be shaped up a lot better if he was, like, basically put in a gauntlet of tough level opposition. And, he could actually prove himself. But it's like, you cannot call yourself the number one lightweight in the world when you're not really showing it to me. And I think it's, very, very fair to say that Gervonta is moving the same way like Terrence Crawford is. Let me fight the least amount of opposition that's going to give me the toughest battles. And as long as I get these good, easy, mid-tier difficulty fights, then that's okay, because your fans are going to keep on supporting you. But obviously that's not true, because nobody's not wanting to see you fight another bum that people will consider to be a nobody. But that's how, Gervonta is being viewed. And I think it's fair for me to say that, look, he's really not a 3-division world champion. He needs to prove it in the ring. But I don't want to try to be as rude as possible, because I'm really not. I'm just using, peaceful criticism towards Gervonta. And I think Gervonta, he needs to do it now rather than doing it later. Or else he's going to be shamed by a bunch of people. Because I think that's the direction that Tank is going to. And it's either he's okay with it, or he's going to stand behind Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerby, where he doesn't want to take full responsibility. And he's going to just let them, talk for him, which is absolutely stupid. But I'm pretty sure Floyd and Leonard, they're going to set Gervonta up with really tough-ass fights. And, I mean, if it is Devin Haney next, I will be very, very happy. But I don't think that fight's going to happen. I think Floyd and Leonard have made it clear that they're really trying to keep Tank away from all these big names. And they're just trying to, to me, it makes me feel like they're doing a circle jerk on the fans to make Tank into this, this wannabe street circus hype job fighter, to be viewed as like the next big thing, when he is not doing the things that we want him to do. And I think that's what's pissing me off the most, that Gervonta, he can always sell out a crowd, but if he ain't fighting somebody that we want him to fight, then there's going to be some massive criticism. Because you cannot tell me Gervonta is doing better with his career knowing that he's not getting the big marquee name fights because it's either he's not showing to you that he wants these fights, or he's making it very difficult for people to understand what he wants versus what like certain people in the boxing world want him to do. So to finalize this is that I want to see Gervonta in big fights. I don't want to see him in no, how should I say, I don't want to see no, bum low level opposition fights where we know that Gervonta is gonna win, but it's like a fight where he's getting tagged up by lesser known opposition that shouldn't even be in the ring with him. So I don't know, man. That's pretty much it with me. I'll see you guys later. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Gervonta Tank Davis is a legitimate 3-division world champion? Or if you do agree, let me know. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace.